All right, and we're live, brother.
What's up, Gray? You always catch me off guard, man. What's happening, brother? How you doing? Look at
Living
this.
the
Look at
dream,
all these
living the
people
dream.
here. Living the dream, huh? Awesome. Let's see. I
It's
see we got all of our regular customers over here on the right hand side. Our regular
did you,
suspects.
did you guys miss us?
It's been 2 weeks, man. Man, that
Two
hey, tell me
weeks.
that didn't go by really quick.
It did. I mean, as busy as I know I have and you are. I mean, it
Oh
flies.
man.
What I was gonna say is someone wrote in one of my recent videos. They were like, "I missed you and Rudy. 2 weeks seems like a long time." I'm like, "Man, it flies, but it flies for
It
us.
flies
It just
by.
flies." But folks, welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out with myself and Rudy, the Alaska Prepper. If you're new here, I want to say this in the beginning. I've been thinking about this a lot, that we always forget to mention this. If you're new here, we do this usually every Monday nights, but during the summer, we skip to every other week because we're both busy and Rudy's busy with, getting ready for winter, which it won't be that long, folks, because winter comes faster in Alaska, way faster than it
Oh yeah,
comes in Florida. So we'll be
it
back
does.
to our normal weekly schedule in regards to doing the live streams. The next time will be on Rudy's channel. So if you're not subscribed to Rudy, make sure that you subscribe to the Alaska Prepper and whatnot. And again, thank you guys for being here. Should be an interesting topic for tonight, man. Interesting topic
Yeah,
tonight because
so
where is
our
America
next
headed?
our next live, Gray, is going to be on the 15th.
The 15th, Monday,
On
the
the
15th of
15th. And
July
it'll
will be
be
the
on
next one.
this channel right here. Hey, before we start, I have to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to do it again on my channel throughout the week and on this Friday's live stream. I'm going to do my best to have a live stream this Friday on my channel. So
Okay.
we had a contest where we were going to have two winners win an Opus solar generator. The first one was going to be, if you signed up for my email list, you were going to be entered to win an Opus Exodus 600. I believe it's a 600 plus, but you'll find that out when it gets to your door. And the other one was going to be anyone that made a purchase during the Father's Day sale that Opus put on and sent me their information. They're going to win an 1800, an Opus 1800. And I've got those two names, and I'm also going to go ahead and send you an email to get your information as well. And let's see, the first one is, I'm only going to say the first name is Mr. Josh. So, Josh, congratulations. You are the winner of the Opus 1800. You're one of the ones that went and showed your support and purchased a system from Opus. And it could have been anything. I was kind of like hoping that someone would that purchased a flashlight would win, but it just happened to be Mr. Josh. Right? So congratulations. The next one is Michael. Michael won the Exodus 600, and his name was drawn from one of our email listings or email list on the alaskaprepper.com. So if you're not on the alaskaprepper.com website, go over there, the alaskaprepper.com. Go over there, sign up for email listing because there's going to be another huge prize given away. Well, prizes, all right? I'll fill you in on that later on, but it has to do with nutrient survival. And man, Gray, I'll talk to you on this offline, but wait till I tell you what they're going to be doing. Go to the alaskaprepper.com. Just sign up for the email list. I don't abuse it. I will not flood your emails with stuff. Just very, very rare. Once in a while, I'll send you an email, and you'll be entered to win a whole bunch of stuff from Nutrient Survival this coming month. And that's all I have
Nice.
to say, Gray. Let me go ahead and take a drink.
All right, me too. Funny that you mentioned that. Miley reached out to me and said, "Hey, Gray, do you want to participate in a giveaway for Opus?" And I said, "Of course." So something's coming up with
Nice.
that. Also, I know folks. I always mention this. Folks don't like to watch review videos too often, and the folks that do watch it, I truly appreciate the support on that. Because it's like some people just think, oh, they're just trying to sell something, but no, we're just trying to review products for you guys to get an idea of some of the products out there for emergency preparedness. But that being said, I have Rudy, I know you're familiar with Olight. And
Yes.
they used to have a company called Obuy. They dissolved that company and decided to streamline things and just kind of create O-Knife, which is like oknife.com, which technically their knives are mostly manufactured through Kaiser, which is another knife manufacturer for you knife folks out there that know about knives. I sell knives for a living, so I have to kind of be a little bit versed on that. So I have it's the
Nice.
4th of July or American flag version of one of their good knives, one of their more common knives. I think it's called the Roboto 4. But in that, since I have so many knives, I'm going to do the review on it, and I'm not going to beat the knife up. I'm just going to open it, showcase it, and then I'm going to give it away. We could do it on your stream if you want next week. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever you want to
Um,
do, brother.
Also, shout out to Fat Man Prepper. He sent something to us to give away as well. So that will be,
Nice.
me and you'll discuss that down the road, and maybe we'll do that as well. So we'll get a lot of things to give away to the community. So that's very awesome.
And that's one of the reasons why I like doing reviews, man. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie, right, Gray? I get to keep this stuff because I review it. But a lot of times, I get to ask for extras, and they're more than willing to give it to me so that I can give away to someone. And to me, that's a blessing to someone that might not have been able to afford that specific item. Now they can add it to their prep. So that's an awesome thing, I think.
Absolutely. Outside of that, man, hold on one second. Let me I got a cough, so I'm gonna try to hold the cough while I hit mute.
Go ahead, man. Do it.
All right. So I know a lot of you folks looking at the title, Where is America Headed? Biden versus Trump 2024. It was record breaking for the people that watched the debate. I don't know. Some people care not to watch it because the fact that, people just are not interested. They feel that the debates don't do anything or, kind of stuff like that. But I found it very, very entertaining. And I don't know how much of it you watched, Rudy, but it really showcased the condition of our current president and his state of mind in regards to him speaking in general.
Well, let me tell you what, Gray. I didn't watch the debate. I watched a little bit. To me, it doesn't matter. Right? To me, it doesn't matter. If by now people don't know, they're not going to know. If by now they don't want to know, they're not going to know. Right? And they don't care. They don't care. It's going to be what it's going to be. Right? All I have to say is continue to prepare, ladies and gentlemen, because I've said this so many times throughout the years that we are on a train. The United States of America is. It's on a train that's headed towards a wall. The person that sits at the Resolute desk is going to determine how fast that train hits that wall. Meaning what? Meaning that there's no getting out of it. The United States of America is going to go through the pain that is going to go through no matter who's sitting there. It just depends how fast will we get there and how nasty will the fallout of us hitting that wall be, right? I have my opinion as to who would be the better person that would be sitting there during our collapse so that we can rebuild and hopefully save our beautiful nation. Right? But that's my opinion. I think I'm right. Of course, it's my opinion, right? But many other people may have a different opinion than mine. But what I'm getting at is that it no longer matters. The United States of America is going to pay for its misdeeds. No, don't get triggered, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mean your misdeeds. I meant the misdeeds that were done in our name by these crooked politicians who, in my opinion, are nothing but criminals, and others as well. So get prepared and stay prepared. To me, this debate stuff and the little clips that I see here and there, to me, that's more entertainment than anything else. But my mind is made up that the United States of America is going to fall. Why? Because the system by which we are governed is 100% corrupt, and it has no morals, and the financial system within it is no good. It's broken. And without morals and without good money, there is no solid foundation for any government.
Yeah, I have a lot of discussions in my place of business. A lot of people gather there and hang out, and we get into conversations in regards to politics sometimes, and they're mostly friendly. Not a rare instance that they ever really truly get out of hand, because it's not like what the news projects. A lot of people can sit down and have a conversation no matter what side of the aisle that they fall on. At least here in Florida, in my area, I can't say for everywhere. I know there's people fly off the handle and they get very butthurt if you say the wrong thing to them. But here's the thing, folks. Emotions aside and stuff like that, is to me, when I look at someone who I'm going to vote for, be it local elections, state elections, federal elections, it's all about policies and the policies that benefit me as we the people, as a person of the United States, a citizen, and what's going to truly benefit me and my family in the future of like my kids and stuff. So that's how I look at things. And I'm just wondering who out there today is currently happy with the environment that we're living in at this moment, over the last 4 years. And I'm not trying to politicize anything. And I don't want, if you feel different than I do, you're welcome to voice your opinion. I don't want you to feel, we don't try to get too political, either my channel or Rudy's channel. We just like to kind of state the facts and of our personal beliefs, and you shouldn't get upset with us in regards to that. But like Rudy says, no matter what happens in November, we're in a downward spiral that it can't be stopped. If Trump happens to get into office, if they, because I feel like they're going to try to do everything they can to prevent that from happening. But if he does get into office, he has 4 years. And Rudy, I mean, I know you have a take on that in regards to what can he do in 4 years, because this is a lot of damage has happened, you know?
You know what? I don't know who it was. Maybe I can find him real quick. And I'm not trying to throw this person under the table or under the bus, under the table. It doesn't matter. But someone, when I was talking about that our money is tainted, is not real money, someone said, what money? And that in itself, in my opinion, is the problem. That most people don't really understand what money really is. That's the big problem. If most people in America understood that what we use as money is not money, we probably wouldn't be in the situation that we are now. And if they understood that real money, the consequences of which are your time and labor, is really what money is, then we wouldn't be in the position that we are now. You see, because real money is something that you can exchange for something that you want. So what is it that you earn what they call money with? You earn it with yourself, with your labor, your talent, your skills, your time. That's real money. Money equals freedom, because the more money that you have, the less that you have to do things that you don't want to do in order to sustain your standard of living. So the more money you have, the more freedom you have. But when a government is making you use what they call money, but it's not money at all, and they use that instrument, that financial instrument, in order to strip you of your wealth, of your time, of your freedom. If you don't know that, this cycle will happen again and again and again. You see, the cycle doesn't end because people wake up and realize, oh my goodness, they've been stealing my freedom and my labor for all these years. It ends because people just can't afford a darn thing. And it ends because a Big Mac goes from $4 25 years ago to whatever it is now. And people realize that, and they understand that now they have to work more in order to get the same amount of stuff. And it really hurts. That's why the cycle ends. But until we can teach our children what real money is, then this cycle will continue to happen over and over and over again. And that's, in my opinion, why this is going to end badly. Because in order for us to get out of the debt that we're in, we're going to have to give of our labor, our time, for a long time in order to make things even. Because things are not even right now when it comes to the financial, I guess you could say, ecosystem, with all of the fake notes that we put out there in the world and gotten real stuff for it. Things are not level or not even. So we're going to have to go through some pain in order for that to level itself out. But I was talking to Grey before we started here, ladies and gentlemen. I said, you know, there's absolutely nothing that any president can do to get us out of what we are in now. The only thing that I believe that a president can do is what I think Donald Trump will do if he gets in office, is he's going to try to bring back our manufacturing and get us busy again before the crash. Because the more manufacturing that we have within our own nation, the more production that we have of our own energy, of our own infrastructure, of our own food, of our own everything, the more that we can produce for ourselves, the things that we need, the better off that we will be when the crash happens. Because there's nothing that he's going to be able to do in order for us to have to pay back our debts that we've accrued over the last 50 plus years, ever since we got off the gold standard. And then I think Grey, we talked about something about, well, what if he revalues gold, right? What if he backs the dollar by gold? People may think that that's a very easy thing to do for the American people, that the American people are going to be like, yes, revalue the dollar with gold, because that's going to make it fair. It's going to make it honest. It's real money. Gold is God's money. God put it here so we can use to trade amongst one another in a fair and constant manner, in a way that doesn't change the playing field for anyone. That's why he put gold and silver on the earth, so we can use it for that, right? But let me ask you a question, and anyone can put the answer on the bottom. Let me see, am I on the bottom? Okay. What do you think is going to happen to the price of bread if the dollar is if gold is revalued, let's say to $10,000, which is really not much. Let's say that the United States of America says, okay, we're going to
Thank you.
revalue gold to $10,000 so that we can get out of this debt. Let's say that's what it is. What's going to happen to the price of bread, right? And I won't wait too long, right? I won't keep you in suspense. But right now, gold is at about, let's say, $2,000 an ounce right now, right? I think it's like 2,300, 2,290, something like that. If gold is revalued in dollars to $10,000 an ounce so that we can back our dollar with gold, which is not nearly enough, but let's just say that, then the price of bread is going to go up fivefold. Okay? The price of gasoline is going to go up fivefold. And the only ones that are actually going to be able to make it through okay, unscathed, are those people that own gold. That's a whole 1% of the American public. And those people that do own gold are going to say, well, at least I'll be okay. I did the right thing. I own gold. I saw this coming. I bought that vehicle, that financial vehicle that would make sure that my family is fed during hard times. Well, what about that other 99%, ladies and gentlemen? You don't think that their quality of life being shifted down to a third world status will affect how you live your life and how your children live their lives with their surroundings? Absolutely, it will. Right? So there's no easy way out. All you can do is continue to prepare, because I'd rather be broke, meaning having no fiat currency, but having a year's worth of food, than to have all the fiat currency in the world that's worth nothing when the balloon finally pops. Man, I know that was a long-winded answer, Grey, but I have big lungs.
No, I like to get your perspective on it, um, and just kind of like listen in, because I'm a listener and I like to digest what people have to say. That's why I'm so active in my comment sections when I do videos and stuff like that, because I really digest a lot of information, because I know how I feel, and it's not, I'm never going to change who I am and what I think and my thoughts are on everything. So I always like to listen to what everybody else says, because at least it gives me an idea where everybody else's mindset is. You know what I mean? And like I said, a lot of the conversations that I've seen online and a lot of other places, uh, people are starting to slowly see the decline and are getting worried, even the younger generations. But I did want to show you something, Rudy. You know, a lot of people said, you know, and the CNN host was kept on saying, you know, to Donald Trump, they kept on saying, you know, will you accept the election results and so on and so forth? And he kept on saying yes, if it's a free and fair election. So I want to show you something. I want to show you something wild. And I don't want to take anybody to take this out of context, but this is some of the things that over like other countries are doing in regards to social media. Let me throw this up on the screen here. Check this out.
Grey, I'm not sure if you caught this or not, but I want to say thank you on your behalf to Stealth Mode for becoming a member of the Grey family.
Do you guys? I appreciate that, Stealth Mode. You guys see that? Look at that, man. Those are bots. That's a bot farm, pretty much what they're doing.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, liking posts, sharing posts. These are the people that you are arguing with online. They're not even real. It's really crazy. When I saw this post and I started digging into it, and this is just a small version of that, man. Just a small version of that. Interesting, eh? In regards to what you see on social media, is it real or not?
Incredible, man. That's amazing.
It's
amazing.
Truly, it's a scary world we live in with the technology that people have access to and what governments have the possibility and access to. You know what I mean? And seeing something like that makes you think, man, like, wow, you know what I mean?
I believe that we're at the end of an era. You know, I believe we are at the end of an era, and maybe even at the end of a civilization. You know, so I don't know. Hey, can you go up to 320 and take a look at Disney Up Boiler Up? 320.
320 Boiler Up.
It's right above Yarn Prepper. By the way, hello to all of the moderators. How you ladies doing? I do believe that this Friday we're going to have a live stream on my channel. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Get your fingers ready. Let's see. Okay, so Disney Up says we got paid at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and now we have 87 cents left in our checking account until another 2 paydays. Well, the first thing that I thought about when I read that is thank God that you're not in the negative and that you're at least able to keep your head barely above water, but you're above water, and that counts for a lot nowadays, Disney up. So I don't want you to beat yourself up over that you're broke, because being broke is just a condition, right? It's something that you can work on. Now, this is my challenge to you, Disney up, right? I don't know what your situation is at all. All I know is the comment that I just read. By the next time that we have our next live stream here on Me and Grey, when I'm on my channel, come up with something that you can do personally to better your situation. Even if it means you don't have to tell us now. You have a whole 2 weeks. This is a challenge. I'm not telling you have to do it. You have a whole 2 weeks. Come up with something that you can do to better your situation, even if it means driving Uber for 1 hour a week, or doing DoorDash, or whatever it is, or picking up cans. Depending on what state you live in, you may live in a state where you get what, 5 or 10 cents per can. And that may not sound like a lot. But when you're driving down the highway, see how many cans there are on the side of the road. That adds up, right? But see what you can do. Find something that you can do to better your situation. You know why? Because you can. You can find your kung fu. Everyone has a certain kung fu that they can do, that they can use to better their situation. So that's just my challenge to you.
That's it's funny that you mention it. The first time in a long time, I actually had to take a little bit of money, and there's circumstances behind that. The wife has been off of, she's on like a mini vacation because the people that she works for, they were out of town for a month. So they gave her the time off, but it was unpaid. Nice, right? And for the first time, I actually had to take a few $100s out of savings and put it back into the banking system, which usually I don't do very often, just as a buffer to make sure that we're protected on anything, because I have a lot of things on auto pay because I don't want to pay attention to that because I have so many other things going on in my life. And I was told her, I said, it's weird for me to take money out of savings, like, the fiat currency that I got put away somewhere, and take that and put it back into the world economy, per se.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, man, I definitely notice how much more expensive life is getting. I mean, I've covered this before, but I'm not even sure if I've covered it on YouTube, but I don't mind talking about it. I retired from the military back in 2016, right? And my retirement paycheck from then, let me do the math right now. I'm not necessarily going to share the numbers, but I'll do the math, the percentages. Let's see. Incredible. My retirement paycheck today is about 55% more than what it was when I retired. But it can buy me less today than it could when I retired. Think about that. So it's getting tough all over. I remember here years ago, I did a video saying something like, if you're on Social Security or a fixed income, you're screwed. Something like that. And people were all over, like, kind of like saying, hey, they didn't want to believe it. They didn't want to believe that what I was saying was true. Well, take a look at this, my own personal experience. My income, my pension income has grown by about 55%, but it can now buy me less than what it did before. And that's what a fiat currency is designed to do. It's designed to steal your purchasing power. It's designed to make you have to work more in order to afford the same standard of living, right? That's what it does. It allows people to shift to a more socialist government than not, because they find it that, hey, why should I have to work more to get the same stuff when this government here who's stealing from others to give to me is just going to give me the money? So it's designed to do that. Hey, listen, I just wanted to comment on this comment from Forrest at 322. I'm not sure if you can find it or not, but it says, that video that you had up with all of the phones? It says, imagine what their phone bill is.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, that's hilarious.
And I think I got it. Simpler Times Homestead. I said, go ahead and email me. And if you're interested in that link, I can send it to you. I just can't find it right now while I'm on the live. In regards to the bot video, I'll send it to you. It's I found it on it was on X, formerly known as Twitter. Sorry, some of the I'm looking at some of the comments and they're great. This is why I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. You know, and it's funny. My wife keeps on telling me the same thing. You know, I saw Yarn say sell some stuff. You know, she made some money over the weekend selling
Yeah.
a couple old phones and
Nice.
whatnot. And my wife keeps on saying, you have all this stuff that you review and you have so much of it. Why don't you sell some of it? And I told her, I said, sometimes I just feel guilty because it was sent to me for free.
No way,
And
brother. That wasn't for free. You didn't get that
well,
for free.
yeah, my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
way of looking at it. And so I told her, I said, well, I said I wouldn't sell it for costs, and I said I don't know what I would sell it, but I wouldn't sell it nearly what you would pay for it online.
Yeah.
You know, from the manufacturer or whatnot. And she said, sell it for half of what it's cost. And I'm like, that's actually not too bad of an idea. You know, if it's
I'm
$1,000,
thinking about
sell
the
it for
same thing, man. Yeah, I mean, you got to cover what you spend, right? And Gray, your time is worth something. Okay.
I
So
appreciate that.
I'm thinking about the same thing. So like, you know, I just discovered a way to be able to get solar generators to Alaska. And for a while now, I don't know, about a little over a year, the only company that would send me solar generators is Opus, because I like their brand so much that I'm always talking about it. So they were like, we don't care what it takes. We're going to go ahead and send this guy, you know, the solar generators. But other companies that I never really worked with, not for a while, they didn't want to go through the logistics nightmare that it took for them to get stuff up here. So now that I figured out how to get something up here, it cost me money. It actually cost me money to get a solar generator up here so that I can review. Well, I've got a couple of them on the line that I'm going to review, and I'm going to try to see if they can send me an extra one so that I can sell one at like half price to someone in my community, so that I can recoup the money that it costs for me to ship it up here. Because the first one that I got shipped up here, which is a new one that Opus is coming out with, and I'm not sure how much of that I'm allowed to say, but man, that one cost me about $170 just to bring that one solar generator up here. And I mean, I can't really afford to be doing that with every solar generator I review. So yeah, it's something that you have to think about if you want to continue to do the things that you're doing. And there's nothing wrong, man, with you know, selling it to someone for half the price of what it would cost them. I'd say that's a win-win for you and the person who gets it.
And to answer Yarn, I just hit 100 pounds of sugar, and you made me think about something, Yarn, in regards to what you're saying. I did a small mini kind of fill-in pantry haul the other day. A lot of folks have chimed in, and one of the things I showcased in there was iodized salt. And I got a lot of people saying, Gray, you know, it's only 5 years on iodized salt. Here's why folks have to do a little bit more research other than just reading something for face value. So yes, iodized salt has a shelf life of 5 years. The reason being is the iodine in there is shelf stable to that point. But outside of that, the iodine starts to degrade, but the salt itself is still good, like, because it's salt is salt, folks. And yes, it's better to store, let's say, like your canning salts or pink Himalayan salts, or your natural salts. But don't be afraid of certain things like iodized salt. It comes in handy for other purposes outside of just, you know, table salt.
Yep.
And when it's on sale, you can't beat it, you know. But like you said, sugar, salt, and I did a little bit of history on salt because salt used to almost have the same value as gold back in the day. That's how precious salt is. So in a true SHTF, salt will be one of those commodities that everyone will need and want.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, I've got I just had a comment here that I want to share with you all, and you don't have to bring this up, but this was from Jeff Gregory. How you doing, Jeff? By the way, he said, "AP, I bought those solar panels you reviewed a few days ago. Great deal." Yes, indeed. Go check out that video if you haven't, ladies and gentlemen. It was the cheapest solar panels that I could find on Amazon, and what makes them, in my opinion, a great deal is that they're the flexible, lightweight ones.
Nice.
And they work great, man. And Gray, I think they came out to like $52 a solar panel for 100-watt solar panel.
I mean, I think that's
just a great deal. Now, they're not as efficient, in my opinion, as the name brand solar panels that, you know, your solar generator companies make. But when you break down how much it costs per watt for what you're paying, and you break down per watt for what the solar panels that are like Jacky Opus, EcoFlow, stuff like that are, it comes out to be a better deal. You get a lot more bang for your buck. So go check out that video. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. It's just I was like, man, this is such a great deal. I gotta take a look at these and see how they work. And I think they work really good for what you pay.
You know, it's funny. I'm an idiot, AP. I've never stocked powdered sugar, and the wife wanted to get some powdered sugar while we were out shopping for the little pantry fill-in. And I put a comment on there, while I was doing the video. I said, if you guys ever stored powdered sugar, let me know how it works out for you, because, it can moisture and stuff like that. And everybody said, Gray, you just take regular sugar and put it in a blender, add a little bit of cornstarch, and you got powdered sugar. And I was like,
and I've heard, now I've got a little experiment going on. It's already been about 2 or 3 years, but you know me and my experiments. Right? I heard that powdered sugar goes bad over time. I have no idea if it does or not. So I've got some powdered sugar put away in a baggie next to my regular sugar bin, which I haven't been in there in probably the last year or so or more. And I've had it in there for years, like the last 3 or maybe even 4 years. And at year number 5, we're going to go ahead and take a look at it and see if it's still good. But yeah, man, I mean, really powdered sugar, like they told you, all you have to do is just blend it with a blender. And yeah, like you said, put a little cornstarch, you should be good to go.
Thank you, Fluffy Otter, for the super sticker. Truly appreciate the support. Every penny helps. But, just remember, folks, don't super chat unless you absolutely want to, because I know everyone's struggling out there. And I saw a comment about sugar. Yeah, sugar pretty much. Sugar will last indefinitely, folks, if stored properly. Sugar will last
indefinitely. JRC Homestead down there? I've had powdered sugar get an off taste.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I've never really had powdered sugar long enough to test it for that, but we will be here in a year or two. But yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, sugar is very interesting to store. It's a lot easier to store than people will think. And so is salt. I mean, these are just some little things that you can do to add to your pantry, that especially when they're on sale. I did showcase a new product that I stole from Rudy. That everybody was,
What did you do, Gray? What did you do?
I guess it's a northeastern region of America, and it's canned bread.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, wait a minute. Did you do that video already?
No, not that.
Because I haven't seen it.
Don't let the cat out the bag. Man. Yeah, don't let the cat out the bag.
All right.
Don't let the cat out the bag. I had no idea that stuff has been around for a very, very, very long time. The main issue people had was the people who have bought it that have never bought it before, was opening the bread from the can and getting it out in a whole, loaf per se.
It's very easy to do, really.
Yeah. And I was thinking about, should I do a tutorial? But I was like, I know Rudy opened up one about 4 or 5 years ago. But a lot of people like to eat it with canned beans and stuff like that. What did you find?
Look at Viv B 334.
Viv B 334. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you take that one.
Yeah. Viv, you're gonna have a brick.
I mean, you can still eat it. You can still eat it.
You can still use it.
You can use a grater or a hammer.
Yeah.
Or I made the exact same. I'll call it a mistake, because it is a mistake. I made the exact same mistake when I first started prepping, and I still have that sugar in 2-liter bottles with an oxygen absorber, and I could use it for home protection. Okay, that's how hard it gets. But I was like, well, wait a minute. When I need to use it, if and ever I do, all I do is just cut the 2-liter bottle off of it and just use a grater and grate it. That's it. But yeah, you don't really need to, and it's preferred that you don't put away any kind of sugars with an oxygen absorber. It's going to turn into like a rock, really.
A brick. Yeah, you can use a desiccant to keep moisture out if you'd like, absolutely, but not an O2 absorber. And where was it at? Disney Up, Boiler Up. Go check out my pantry haul video, not the video that I just released today, but that I released on Friday or Saturday, the little pantry thing, and you'll see it on there. And a lot of people have said, Gray, well, I like to store flour. I like to store this and make my own bread. And I agree. You want to do that option as well. But what's cooler than having canned bread on a shelf that you can just pop open and use? You don't have.
It tastes so good too. It's delicious.
It's just, I always tell people when they say certain comments, I'm like, it's all about redundancies. Yes, I grow my own vegetables, but I still stock canned vegetables, fruits, and all that stuff like that. And someone made a comment in regards to fruits, and they're like, well, I hear fruit kind of, doesn't do well in cans. I'm like, well, depending on the type of fruit that it is. Things that are high acidic are going to have issues. Things that are low acidic, you don't have them issues, especially if they're stored in like that sugary water and stuff like that. So you just got to follow up I think people should do a little research before some people make a statement in regards to certain stuff, because I've made so many mistakes in this journey, and I'm pretty sure Rudy has too. I think didn't you have
Oh
that one
yeah.
thing that 5 gallon bucket explode onto you or something like that?
Almost the
Yeah,
pancake
yeah,
batter.
yeah. The
But
pancake
I'm
batter.
glad that it happened. I'm glad that it happened. The reason is because I learned that even though the leavening in pancake mix
Mm-hmm.
goes bad over time and it turns into a gas, right? That it does not ruin the mix. So, and it's not toxic or anything. Do your own research. So all I did was I just opened that. I did a video on that. I opened the bag. I took some of the mix out. I went ahead and mixed it with nothing else in it. Just I think I added an egg or something to give it a little bit of fluff, because if not, it's going to come out flat. And it tasted just fine. It tasted just fine. And if you really want that little spring in your pancakes, then go ahead and add some more leavening to it. It's not going to hurt it. Or I was telling Gray, you can go ahead and put some tonic soda or tonic water,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they call it, in there, and that's going to give it a bit of a raise. But the point of it is that it does not ruin the product. All you have to do is repackage it and put it away again, or you can just use it right there and then. So yeah, sometimes making a mistake is really beneficial, because not only do you learn from it, but a lot of people can learn from it as well. Imagine how many people that happened to and they just threw it away. Like
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
know.
learn from it.
It's there's probably a lot of food waste that happens
Yeah,
where people think that things have gone bad and they really haven't. And Tim, no, it's ready to eat. And I've heard of some people actually taking the cans and steaming the cans and doing all kinds of other stuff. There's lots of
yeah.
different techniques that you can do with this.
I made my
Um,
own before, and it comes out really good. But to tell you the truth, I rather just have it in the can, because I love that. I love that stuff. I rather just have it in a can. So I have a whole bunch of cans that I put away years ago. And I don't know, maybe we'll do a 5 or 10 year review on one of those cans that I have, because they're getting pretty close to being. I think they're getting pretty closer to 10 years than 5 that I've had
yeah,
them.
it's definitely the easy. I know, Rudy. What's crazy about that is someone said, I used to buy that bread, but now it's like $10 a can, and I was like, what?
Yeah, crazy.
And I said, well, I got lucky since I buy things in bulk. It came down to about $2 and change a can, which is
Really?
cheap. Yeah, $2 and it's like 2.50
And is
for a
that what they're
can.
selling for, like individually now on Amazon? I haven't checked in a long
If you
time.
check on Amazon, I saw it as high as $11 a
Holy
can.
caramba, that's crazy.
$11. I was shocked when I saw that. So you got to search around, folks, because I was just like amazed that anybody would pay that for a can of bread, because it's only a 16-ounce can. But but I got mine when I broke it down by the case. I paid $2.54 a can, which for a loaf of bread these days you're paying more than that. So to me it was well worth it. I know we've gone far off topic, but I like talking about.
So what, man? We're just talking, man. That's what this
Yeah,
is all about.
I love talking about like pantry stuff, because I've been working so hard to make this the most organized, make sense pantry ever. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
a lot of people seem to engage with me on that, because they're like, Grey, you are super OCD. And I'm like, yes. And I love it, because it makes things so much easier to keep track of and to
Now,
keep that rotation.
let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, do you rather talk about stuff that we're talking about now, or do you rather talk about saving Medicare? You let me know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if anybody picked up on that, but that's hilarious. I can't get that out of my head, Rudy.
I'm sorry.
It was just
It's
like,
just funny.
and we're saving Medicare.
Uh,
And then,
and uh, yes, JT, I did review one of those breads a while back, and I do believe it was over the expiration or Best Buy date, excuse me. But man, now it's going to be way over. But I want to make it an even number, so we'll see what it is. And if it's a far off number, obviously it's a few years more than what it was before. Maybe we'll do one. I really want to wait till like the 10-year mark or something like that to try it. It'll be pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. Pretty sure it will.
I think everyone should watch that 24-minute video of Rudy's hands.
Is that what that was? Man, that was
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Love it,
Oh
man. I
man,
had
that's
to watch that
awesome.
video because it was so
Yeah,
great.
what was it? Was it like a 45-minute video me reviewing a can of bread and telling you the story behind everything? Oh, I remember when I was in the military and I was in Afghanistan and I went to the chaplain and I had a oh man, that must have been so painful, Gray. That's why my OGs, my original gangster community members are awesome, because they're still here. And there's Ann Palmer from the great state of Louisiana.
And I agree. everyone who has stuck with this since we first started our channels, man, are truly amazing people, because through our journeys through this whole process, we're always in a learning phase. We're our own directors, our own producers, our own editors, our own, idea guys. And I catch myself. I'll take a video when I go to edit it, and I have to cut like hours out of it because I just rambled on too much about nothing that had to do with nothing with the video. But Yarn threw this up and said, GreyMan Prepping, get ready to send you Sailor Boy pilot bread.
They're all gone.
All gone, huh?
Those are all gone. I remember buying them. I think I did a payday prep with them because I found them on sale. This was years ago when I did one of my commissary hauls. And man, I don't remember what it was, but I think they were on sale for like $1 for one of those big things. And I bought several, but they're all gone since then. That was years ago.
Yeah, and it's funny, folks. It's talk food, please. Prepping and pew.
This is so funny. And Pinch Runner says, "OG here. I suffered through a few, but I'm still here."
Yeah, Pinch Runner is awesome. It's
man, you're making me cry.
Man, I saw something and I forget where I saw it at, but talk food, please. Prepping and pews. Oh, there we go. I put that up already. Someone said when they first started buying that bread can, it was 79 cents a can. Jan, that absolutely,
wow.
That's crazy when you look at it that way. And I'm trying to bring this down a bit. Let me see. Someone said check Costco.
All right. Come on, Gray. Let's get back focused now. All right, let's get back
focused.
All right.
No more squirrel.
Come on. Stop doing the squirrel thing. All right.
I gotta love it, man. It's just
Did I tell you about the fires that we have going on here?
You told me, but you haven't told the community yet.
Man, incredible, ladies. And I think right now we have a little over 2 million acres in Alaska. Not in one centralized location, but spread throughout Alaska. Like 2 million acres of fires. And I'm looking outside right now, and it's just a thick, concentrated sheet of smoke everywhere. On today's video, I gave you a little taste of what the smoke looks like as I was driving down one of the main streets here in Fairbanks. Incredible. Yesterday, my family and I were coming back from a trip, and we were near Denali, and oh my goodness, incredible. So bad down in that area. I don't know how people are not having to evacuate their homes just because of all of the smoke in the surrounding area. Pretty crazy. We've learned to deal with this though. Like right now I have a, can you see it? Oh yeah, there it is. This is a special air purifier that's made specifically for smoke. So I have it in here, and I have my windows open, and I don't smell any smoke in here. That's how good this thing works. And by the way, it's from Simpure. So go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually from Simpure, one of my affiliates, and it works great. And it's made specifically for smoke. But yeah, we get used to it, and this is how we have to, we just have to adjust. Today, I was going to do a lot of outside work, but there's no way. Not only was it raining today, but there's no way that I could be outside doing any kind of physical labor with all of the smoke that's upon us. And I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's probably going to last a bit longer because there's so many fires.
Two things I want to address. One, Mike P says, I have tuna fish that will be up in 2025. Will it still be good? And yeah, there's a misconception with canned foods. Now, I know there's a difference between tuna in water and tuna in oil in regards to that, because oil can go rancid over time, but I haven't personally seen it. But some people said that they have no issues. Some people said they've had issues. But the canned tuna in water, I have a can that's probably was up in like 1999. I should probably just open it up to prove everybody that it's just fine. But use your nose.
Would be great, man. It would be great if you did that, Gray. Not because it would make a great video or nothing like that, but because that way people will see, hey, look at this. This actually lasts. Don't throw it away. Now, building on top of what GreyMan said, that absolutely it's going to last as long as the container has not been compromised. No rust, no dents, the seal is not broken. I don't have a can here or nothing, but if you go like this to the can, if the can goes up and down with your fingers, that seal is broken. You do not want to consume that. You don't even want to give it to your pets. All right, ladies and gentlemen? Learn how to check your food. All right. As long as you properly store pretty much any kind of food that is meant for long-term storage. Any dry food, rice, beans, wheat berries, any canned foods. As long as you store them properly and preferably in a temperature-controlled room, they're going to last well past their best buy date, all right? And in my opinion, I love the tuna that comes in the oil better. Like tuna that comes like an olive oil. Oh my
Yeah, the
God, I
flavor.
love that stuff. I personally think, Gray, that is a better thing to put away because of the
Fats.
calories. You got
Yeah.
a whole bunch more calories, and if it's some, but I also really like the way that it tastes, the olive oil taste and stuff.
Well,
And again, if that can stay sealed, that oil's not going to go rancid.
the biggest thing, folks, is if you have a long-term food pantry, you know, you have your staples that you put up, like your rice, your beans, your sugar, your salt, stuff like that. But stuff like your canned goods, if you keep things in rotation, you'll
Yep.
never probably run into some of those issues.
Never.
Ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
I do want
go
go ahead.
ahead, Gray. I'm sorry,
No,
man. Let me drink. Let me drink. Go
no,
ahead.
you're I wanted to go back to Tim's comment here where he said, "Thank everyone for the bread info. I've never seen it before." And I don't want Tim. You know, this is why I love doing videos, because
Yep,
when I do a
absolutely.
video, it's not about the information that I'm. It's not solely about the information that I'm providing for you. It's a talking point for everybody in the community to voice their opinion and share their experiences. So we're reaching a huge, broad audience, and everyone that's participating in the comment section is sharing their experiences with the things that I'm talking about, which we all can build on. So I think that's my favorite part about putting out videos. Let's say a pantry haul video or a video about whatever, is the comment section. And that's why I'm always
Yep.
asking people to leave comments, because everyone has so much value to add to the conversation.
Yep. And Stealth Mode asked me for a link to that Simpure site. Any links for anything that I talk about, they're in the description of all of my videos. So if you go to any one of my videos, Stealth Mode, there's going to be a link for Simpure, and make sure to grab the discount code. I got a 20% off discount code for Simpure, and I really like their company. And let me go ahead and jump into this real quick, Gray, so we can tackle this real quick, because we have to do this every so often. Some people come back and say, AP, that Simpure, that stuff is made in China. And I said, yes, it is made in China. However, if you take a look below my Simpure link, I believe there is a link there for water filtration systems that are made in the United States of America. And I'm not going to go ahead and talk about any of them and prices and all that stuff. But if you want to go ahead and buy something that's 100% made in the US, use the links that I leave. I think I have 2 or 3 links of 100% US made things, right? And I'll tell you what, I don't think I've had one person come back to me and say, yes, I used your link. Thank you very much. I went ahead and purchased it. And the reason is, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not my fault. It's not Gray's fault. It's not your fault. It's the fault of the United States government allowing for our manufacturing to be taken out of our country. I would rather have someone buy, and I had this conversation with a friend of mine who was 100% opposed to buying an RO system that was made in China. But I would rather have someone buy an RO system from Simpure that does the same job as one that's made here in the US at 1/10 of the price, because they will at least buy it and use it instead of not buying it because they can't afford it. I received an email from someone saying, thank you so much for the discount that we get from Simpure with your code, because now I can afford to buy an RO system, whereas I never could have afforded one before. What would you rather do? And I'm talking to the people that are always saying, oh, it's made in China. I'm sorry that it's made in China, but don't blame me for it. Blame the government. They're the ones that make it so that it's made in China and not here in the US. And they're the ones that make it to where the ones that are made here in the US, you pay 8 to 10 times more for. All right. But anyways, go check out any of my videos, and the links are there. And make sure you grab the 20% discount for anything in the Simpure store. And I just had to say that, Gray, because I always get someone saying that, but they don't think about the people. What about if the people that were running the state of Michigan during the Flint era, where they poisoned so many people with lead in the water? What if they would have been able to buy a $100 RO system? How many of those people would have not had to suffer getting brain tumors and even seeing some of their children expire because they didn't spend $100 on an RO system because the state was afraid to tell them that there was something wrong with the water? Man, it makes me sick thinking about that. So anyways, that's why I promote these things. And you know what? I may do a video on some new information that came out about how nasty the water is all across the country. You know, don't try to protect yourself or your family from dirty water when you find out that it's dirty. Do it now before it gets to that point. No matter where you live, it doesn't matter where you live. You don't know what's in that water.
It's to add to what you're saying, Rudy. I'm going to ask you one question. What is the most common prepper? What most preppers recommend as a ideal prepper radio? And what I mean like that is like, you know, a walkie-talkie. What is the most common one? Right. And where the hell is it made at?
Yeah, it's made in China. Almost
exactly
99% of everything we use. And this is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But the thing is are you, even if, look, I was having a discussion with a really good friend of mine, like a very, very good friend of mine. I highly respect this person, right? And he's like one of my mentors. He doesn't know this, but he is. Like every time that I talk with him, I learn a lot from him, right? So so he's saying, I will not buy anything at all, anything that's made in China. And I'm like, well, where are your tires made? They're made in Vietnam. Where do you think Vietnam gets its steel from to put inside your tires? All right. Where do you get your pharmaceuticals from? From India. Well, where do you think India gets 80% of their raw ingredients to make those pharmaceuticals that they then export and we import here into the United States? It's 80%. A globalized system. And one of the things that I like about the number 45 is that he wants to bring those things back to be made here in the US where they belong. But until we have those systems here that can support we, the people, we're going to have to get them where we can get them and where we can afford them. As long as it does the job, I have no problem promoting it as long as it's a fair price and it actually does what it says that it's supposed to do. Because we can't find it here in the US. And then this is what I love, Grey. I'm linked up with this company, Switch, Switch with AP, where every single thing they make is everyday items that we use on an everyday shampoo, conditioner, just everyday soap, this laundry soap, all stuff that we use every day. Everything is made here in the United States. All of it is made here in the United States. Nobody wants to do it. Why? Because it's like a subscription-based company, but they have no problem getting a subscription through Amazon. So listen, people are going to do what they want to do, and people are going to bitch because people like to bitch about everything, pretty much. That's just the way it is, and it's true.
So Stephanie asks, will boiling water alone take away all the contaminants? Do you still have to have a filter the water too?
Man, Grey, I'll tell you what, boiling water will make that water potable. But this is my question, and it's kind of like a rhetorical question, is why not get the filters now so you don't have to find out or wonder? Like if it was the worst of times and I had to boil water, it's because I want to add another layer of safety to the water before I put bleach in it and before I put it through my filter. All right. That's why, because the filters are available now, and it doesn't have to be a Simpure filter. It can be whatever filter you want that you yourself are comfortable with using. Test your water. Whatever filtration system you have the ability of testing that water yourself so that you can prove to yourself, hey, this water is good. And if ever you have to rely on that water to sustain life, or rely on that filter, to clean your water to sustain your life, you'll know for a fact that it's going to be good water because you've tested it before and you've used it on a regular basis. So yeah, why wait until you have to get wood and boil water when you can just get a filter now and put it away?
It's all about redundancies, folks. Having multiple options. It's funny. I don't know if I'm going to be working with this company or not. They reached out to me and they're speaking about a reverse osmosis system. I am affiliated with Simpure as well, But the thing that they actually had for me that kind of grabbed my attention was they have a filter that adds minerals back into the water, and I thought
Yep.
that was very nifty. So that's like I was like, okay, maybe this will be something that I can show my viewers. I don't know if I'm going to go with it yet. We're just in talks right
Oh, are
now.
you talking about that under the sink system from Simpure?
No, this is a different
Oh,
company,
different one?
and
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
tabletop version. It's a tabletop reverse osmosis system, kind of like the
Yeah,
one that
yeah,
I
yeah.
showcased through
Yeah.
Simpure, but it's by a different company.
Man, I'll tell you
And
what, Gray man, I'm in the works to review a couple of new systems from Simpure,
okay,
but my favorite and the one that I recommend the most is the most inexpensive system they own. You know why? Because they work. It's like it's not fancy. They just work. And I understand where these companies they have to be innovative if they want to stay relevant, right?
right.
If you're not innovative, you're just going to fade away. But if you're innovative and you come up with new things, better ways of doing things, you stay relevant and your company continues to grow and it stays alive. I understand that. But in all honesty, my very favorite reverse osmosis filtration system that I've ever owned is the one that you put under the sink that's got that little pressure tank that everyone knows about. I call it the legacy system. However, there are several different types of RO systems that, in my opinion, serve different purposes. Like that Itahel RO system that was a portable reverse osmosis system. Never seen one like that. That's portable. It's awesome. I love that little system. But then again, for those that are on a budget, I really like the little gravity fed system that Simpure has. That's a 6-liter bag with the straw in the bottom. I just used that this last weekend to clean our water. We went on a camping trip. I just like using that little thing. It's so awesome, to use, and it's so simple to use.
I had to watch that video. It was very entertaining. I like what you did there. I want your opinion on something, Rudy. I know maybe you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I wanted to see if you end up checking out the Delta Pro 3 that I reviewed.
I saw that thing, and the only thing that scares me. Well, listen to this, Gray.
Just be honest, brother. Be honest.
No. I think that machine is awesome. I love it. I would like to have one. EcoFlow, send me one of those machines so I can review it. I can take care of shipping. All right. I would love to review it, but just watching you review it, I think it's awesome. Let me tell you why it is that I love Opus so much. It's because people can afford it. People can afford, 4,000 continuous watts, with 5,000 watt hours. And with Opus, they do what they tell you they're supposed to do. So if it says you're going to push out 4,000 continuous watts, at least with the ones that I reviewed and the ones that I still use right now, our power went out today. I had no problem with our power going out because I have my backup Opus hooked up to my freezers and my refrigerator, no problem. I brought another one up, hooked it up to an air conditioner that we keep to keep the air dry. Pretty much we use it as a dehumidifier. And all that kind of stuff works no problem. That's what I like, is that most people can afford that brand. I'll go out and say it's more of a working man's brand because you're getting what you pay for. You're getting the most bang for your buck. But that doesn't take away from the fact that EcoFlow, even the Blue Eddy, even the Jackeries, well, not the Jackery as much, but the Blue Eddy, the EcoFlow, man, those are awesome systems. It's that they're really pricey. And I really like to be able to offer something that's within the reach of your average person. Not saying that I wouldn't love to have an EcoFlow. I would. I would love to review that. But no, that thing is a monster, man. I seen you pushing it at like 4,300 continuous watts, and it didn't do anything. It just did what it's supposed to do. And I do know that they had a pretty good deal on that, a pretty good price on that. But again, like I said, nothing against it. It's just I rather push something out there that is within the grasp of many people. But there's a lot of people that will buy that because they can't afford to get it. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that will buy that system. That system will be around for a long time because there are people out there that, can still afford to get that kind of stuff. It's just that, they're disappearing more and more as time goes on, as inflation takes hold.
No, I agree. My most shocking moment doing that review was when, like you said, I had it up to about 4,300. And that 10 millisecond uninterruptible power supply, it didn't even blink. I was shocked at that. I was thoroughly impressed with that.
Well, you
system.
know, the last review that I did with the Opus Mega 3, I think, no, Mega 2,
Mhm.
the Mega series has like a 20 millisecond UPS, but even at 20 milliseconds, I don't see a blink or anything like that. But the faster the better, obviously. You know, the faster the better,
It's
especially if you're using it as a backup to do like work. So like if you use it for a backup on a work environment, because you're working in the internet, like right now, I'm not running off of grid power. Right now, I'm running off of my solar generator power, because that way, if we do lose the grid, then we won't have any kind of interruptions. So you know,
I
it just depends.
yeah, no, I agree. I'm looking I have because I got one Mega 3 sent to me and then I bought a Mega 3 because I needed two of them.
Oh,
And I guess I should have asked Opus for a deal or something, but I didn't care. They had a
yeah,
good sale on it. And I got the two of them there because I'm trying to build a system for my house on a certain part of my house.
yeah,
Um, but it can get expensive, you know, in regards to some of these
yeah.
larger systems. And I get it. A lot of folks, but the folks that are in the market for stuff like that should really consider their options on what's going to work best for
Yeah.
them. The main thing about the Delta Pro 3 that with the 10 milliseconds is another thing. How you were talking about work is also medical devices. People that depend
Hmm.
on something that their life depends on, that speed of that generator kicking on to keep power to their medical devices. That's something you want to look at because I've had some older. I can't remember the name of it. Well, one of the companies I work with, it was like a 30-second millisecond, and it wouldn't the AC would click on and then turn back on in
Really?
that time frame, but it
Wow.
would not. It just it had a delay, and the compressor had to re-kick on and it had to restart itself. And I can't remember which one that was. I can't remember what company it was. So I agree with you on the speed, depending on what you're using these products for, and that's why I always tell everybody, outside of whatever you decide to choose, make sure it's the right thing for you in regards to what you're spending your hard-earned money on.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the same thing that I say. I like to say that, hey, only because I'm showing you this, if you decide that you want to get something like this, match it up with four or compare it to four or five different things.
Hmm.
So if you think, oh my goodness, this Opus Mega 5 is just awesome, awesome. Compare it to four or five other brands that are giving you roughly the same specifications, and then you decide for yourself which one seems best, because it's not a cheap purchase to make. It's definitely something that you would benefit from researching for 1 or 2 hours by watching review videos, reading reviews of it, seeing how it works, seeing what it puts out, and all that kind of stuff. It's something that you shouldn't take lightly. I mean, if somebody can take it very lightly to spend $2,500 on something, and they're like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Good for you. God bless you. Right? Because you're in a good place, right? But I would say that most people are not like that. And in my opinion, that's a really big purchase to buy something like
Absolutely.
that, because you're not spending that money on something else. You're spending it on that. But make sure that it's exactly what you want, right? And compare it to other things.
Folks, we've touched on politics, we've touched on pantries, we touched on food preservation, we've touched
Uh,
on solar. We have ran the gamut on a lot of great topics here in tonight's live stream.
oh,
Uh,
wait a minute, man. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Okay. Can you 405 Robin White?
Here we go. Gotcha.
Robin White says, I'm on oxygen and I have no backup. Robin, so this is the deal. If you don't have a backup for your oxygen machine in case the grid goes down, because you cannot afford one, all right, go to any one of my videos, go to the link that I leave on every one of my videos in the description. Just look for it and click on Opus Helps. Opus Helps. And there's a link next to it. And what Opus does is they take 5% of whatever they make in revenue and they give it back to the community by giving to those that cannot afford to get a solar generator for themselves, especially if you need it for a medical device. And the application to ask for one is very simple. You can fill it out in 5 minutes. And thus far, ever since Opus started doing this, I would have to say that close to a dozen of the Alaska Prepper community members have received free solar generators for that exact purpose, to act as a backup for their medical systems that they need in case of a power failure. So please go check that out and please sign up for it. And Opus is very generous in my opinion. And if you do get selected to get
Thank
one
you.
at no cost to you, go ahead and let us know so that we can do a happy wave or something like that, or do a cheer or say thank you Opus, whatever. But yeah, go check that out.
But yeah, no, I just saw that we were getting a little bit over the hour mark, and I figured, I wanted to kind of recycle everything that we've touched on today for the folks that I think we did a really good job of touching on a lot of different things that are
Had a lot of
important to
fun,
the
man.
insurance
You
community.
sure you don't
Yeah,
want to stay on a couple more minutes?
I mean, we could stay a few minutes. I could do another 10 minutes before I got to cut.
Yeah, look at what Michael Stacking said at 407 here.
Michael 407. Where are you at, Michael? There he is. This one here?
See that? Yeah.
Nice.
Opus gave him an 1800-watt solar generator for his nebulizer. So you see, Robin, go take a look at it, please. I would love it if you qualify for that and got one for free. I would love it if you did. That'd be awesome.
And the reason I had mentioned that about the hours, I started seeing the numbers start to dwindle down. And
I don't even know how many people are on the chat right now.
Very pungent. No, it was we did pretty good for my channel. I usually look at least if I can get at least 10% of our, roughly try to shoot for 10% of my viewers. And I think we got close to that. We were in the a little over 200 plus mark for viewers tonight. We fluctuated between 200 to like maybe 230, 240, somewhere around there. So not too bad. A lot of people, when it comes to live streams, it's they're either going to make it or they're busy with life. And most people are very busy, especially around this time of the year.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will catch the replay and actually sit down with their family and watch the replay, which is very cool. Very cool to see that.
And if you entered into this live stream late into the live stream, early on, I disclosed the two names, of the winners of the Opus 600 Exodus or Exodus 600 and the Opus 1800. We were giving away one of each for last month's promotion, and I disclosed the name of the two winners. I'll do it again this Friday during our live stream, and I will go ahead and end up sending them an email as well. So congratulations. I believe one of them was Josh, and the other one was Michael, who won.
Hey, Jeffrey, as Rudy says, getting a gas-powered generator is your priority, and then getting a solar generator is the secondary. I agree.
Absolutely. A gas generator should be priority number one. A gas generator is something that you can control because you can control how much gasoline you put away. But you cannot control whether the sun's going to come out or not. Okay? I mean, look at outside. I'm obviously look at outside, but outside right now, there is so much smoke that I've done almost nothing as far as solar goes today. Almost nothing. There's so much smoke in the air. I can't control that, but I can control all the gasoline that I've got treated in my fuel depot to go ahead and recharge my generators if the power goes out and I have no sun to recharge them. That I can control. Right? So yeah, always get a gas generator first. And if you want to complement that gas generator, then go ahead and get a solar generator because it definitely is a complement to a gas generator.
What's coming around the corner, right? I don't know if you've had your affiliate partners reach out to you, but Prime Day is coming around the corner. So there's lots of stuff happening with Prime Day.
I'm so far behind on reading my emails, man, that sometimes I get it like I don't even know when Prime Day is. When is Prime Day?
I think it's July 15th and 16th. They've extended it for 2 days now. I think now.
I don't know. Whatever, man. It's like every other day it's something else. It's like they stole my month, man. My birth month is June.
Oh man,
my birth month is June, man. Come on, man. We saved Medicare. Man. We saved Medicare. Yeah. They stole my month of June. Whatever, man. Forget it. Let's go, man. Get out of here.
Oh man, that's great. But I'm kind of read through the chat as people kind of putting things in there. What does Hill Summit say? What needs to be done? It won't happen sitting in a couch or armchair. Roger that, man. And Susan, I'm right there with you. I'm in Florida, and it's definitely hurricane country. I know some people have been asking about the hurricane that's coming up, and my prediction, it might hit Texas. That's my prediction from long range. I use a specialized software to kind of look at where hurricanes are going, and I know the news may say differently, but it might possibly go veer towards Houston for you folks out there. So be on the lookout, folks. Propane whole house gas generator, soaker generator. We use solar power for well. That's awesome. That is awesome. And Fat Man, I agree, Fat Man. Prime day is for me every day for me too.
Look at what Stealth Mode said down. He's like the second from the bottom.
Okay, here we go.
Stealth Mode said a free Honda generator included with your purchase of your Tesla. That's
man,
awesome.
It looks like Mario's trying to get your attention. Where was it? It said, Rudy, did you see the Deal Guy latest vid?
Oh no, I told him I haven't seen him yet, but I'll see it after this. I love watching that guy.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
These are the things you should get at Costco in the month of July.
That's awesome, Amazing Grandma. I watch a couple of. There's a guy named Levi that is Tropical Tidbits, and he is a very no nonsense kind of guy. Of course, a lot of people watch Ryan Hall as well. But
yeah, Ryan Hall, y'all.
Ryan Hall, y'all.
Yeah.
He's made definitely a huge name for himself and a huge presence on the YouTube platform.
Hey man, he's really good at what he does. That guy, he is very entertaining to watch. He seems like a really good person, and he knows what he's talking about. You know, the exact opposite of what I am.
And me too, man. I've noticed. I wish I could. I'm going to do a poll. I'd like to know, because I feel honestly that more people probably watch YouTube than they watch actual regular TV at this point in the world. You know, that's my.
I don't even watch TV. I don't watch TV at all.
Yeah, most people don't. Most people will come in and entertain themselves with two guys like us for an hour of their lives and just watch us talk and have a conversation in regards to certain topics, which is awesome. You know, I made a joke, Rudy, when I was watching the Fox live stream during the debate. And at one point it had 450,000 live stream viewers during the debate. And I thought to myself, if I could only get 10% of that on my channel, I'd retire.
Isn't that awesome? You know, maybe I'll watch that. I don't even know if I want to watch that. I mean, it's already been what? Almost a week since they had that thing.
Just wait till September. They'll give them some more drugs, and maybe it'll be a different game.
Okay, we'll see. I don't see there's any sense in me watching that thing. Are we still going to cover the election?
Yeah, in that, you know, I'm as it gets closer and closer. I mean, it's going to show up. People don't have no idea. It's right around the corner, and before we know it, it's election time. I'm very curious how that's going to play out. You know what I mean? There's a lot of speculation going on. But I don't want to talk about it because I just want to see what would you want to call it? I don't want to get conspiratorial here, but see how things play out.
Well, it's going to be bad either way, man. It's going to be bad either way.
It will be
because if 45 gets in, the other side is going to go. You think they're crazy now? They're going to go crazy. I mean, nuts, right? And if he doesn't go in, the right side's not going to go crazy because they didn't go crazy last time. You know, that he didn't get in, right? But what's going to happen is that now this administration, if they stay in power, they are going to burn down the house, man. They will burn down the house. So it'll be just get prepared and stay prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the key. That's the key thing here, folks. Is just that's the key message in regards to what we preach is to get prepared and stay prepared, because it could be the simplest little thing as a loss of a job, or it could be something like a crazy ass election cycle that goes haywire. And some of the gadgets and gears and things that we go over sometimes are pertinent to emergency preparedness, because I did a video a while back on why do you need a gas mask, and it was during the that derailment up. Was it up Ohio? Was it a derailment in Ohio?
East Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah, just imagine if those people were prepared, or some of the people were prepared. I'm assuming there's somebody out there was, and you had the option to wear a gas mask, because that was a nasty, nasty situation, as well as purifying water and so on and so forth. There's just a lot of this.
You know what? I mean,
it comes full circle.
Yeah, it's really saddening. Because people wait until disaster happens to get prepared.
Unfortunately.
I mean, how long before that East Palestine thing happened, right? That train derailment, I think it was like 160,000 gallons of that, forever chemical that they put up. Before then, for years, I've been harping. You need a water purifier. You need a reverse osmosis. Get a reverse osmosis. You need a reverse osmosis for years, right? When that happened, oh my goodness, they couldn't keep them on stock because they were literally panic buying them off the internet. Why didn't you just get one when you were warned for the 40th time? And actually make up, decision and actually be an adult. Why in the world would I put my family's safety or health at risk by not having an RO system? They're not that, they're like less than 2 pizza dinners if you have a family of 3 or 4, literally. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you put that on your priority list? And that's with everything else, even with preparations. Why wouldn't you put that on your priority list, right? Anyways, that was my one and only rant for this video.
Not too bad. You're making me think about something. I got a couple comments, and I usually get this every once in a while. They're like, "Hey, you shouldn't be showing your preps on YouTube. The GreyMan thing is you're GreyMan, but you're not gray or something like that." And
That's
it
right.
makes me chuckle a little bit because it's what you don't see on the channels what you should be worried about. That's the biggest thing. If you can find me and come see me and think that you ever have an opportunity to do something to me physically, please take that opportunity and chance, because I need to get some action. I need to get some training. You know what I mean? So let's play that role.
I just figure what's going to happen is going to happen. There's going to be bad people out there. You just have to be prepared to deal with them. That's all.
Yeah, no matter what you do, if you're on YouTube or not, someone is always watching. Someone is always around. There's always a possibility that someone's going to try to take what you have, and you have to be prepared to defend yourself and your family.
And more likely, that's going to be the government. So
Absolutely.
make sure that you have a few things stashed away where they can't find it.
Multiple locations is key.
Because the thing is, go ahead, Grey.
No, I was just going to say my mindset. It's not only that. So when you see the preps that I show on TV, let's say the food pantry, because I built that food pantry specifically for YouTube, as well as the family, but I like to show only 10% of my life. And the reason I do that is because, like what you're about to say, Rudy, is having those alternate locations to where to store stuff. Because how many YouTube channels have you watched where a homestead burnt down and they lost everything? They lost all their preps, they lost all their food. Yep. And I always thought, well, why didn't they have a good friend or something, another option for their stuff, so that they can pick up the pieces a little bit easier than, being out with nothing. And I always worry about that. Because as a hurricane comes through here, and let's say it levels my house at a Cat 5, I don't want to be like, dang, I just lost everything. And I want to be able to say, okay, we're going to location 2. We got, 6 months of food over there. So we'll grab that and we'll start over, kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I honestly don't think that we're going to have an SHTF, right? Meaning that it's going to be the end of the world as we know it. No, I think it will be the end of the world as we know it. But I think, you know what I mean? I don't think we're going to have a situation where people are cannibalizing each other and it's just Mad Max, right? I personally don't think that's going to be. I just think that the United States, along with other Western nations that haven't already joined the BRICS bloc, I think that we're going to turn into third world countries. And that it doesn't matter whether they call the Federal Reserve note the world reserve currency of the world or not. That doesn't matter. A lot of people have been talking about this, but what I've said about this is that it doesn't matter what they call the dollar, whether they say, yeah, it's the world reserve currency. That doesn't matter. What matters to you and to me is what can you buy with it, right? And your standard of living is directly correlated to how much of your labor is needed for you to be able to buy the things that you need to live your life in the manner that you want to live it. Okay. And in my opinion, the dollar is going to be devalued enough. The United States of America is going to lose enough confidence around the world where your life is going to get about 300% or so more expensive over the next couple of years, if not 4 or 5 years. It's going to be 300 or more percent more expensive than what it is now. So we're going to be able to get a lot less for what we make in 2 or 3 years than what we do now, to the extent that we will be like a third world nation. So with that, with third world nation status, Grey, comes what? Crime, right? Comes really real political corruptness. You think that our politicians are corrupt now? Talking about real political corruptness and all of those other goodies that come with it. But corrupted police stations. If you think our police are corrupt now, if you're one of those people, it'll be even worse, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I'm preparing for a day when the United States of America will be a third world country. I think it'll happen in my lifetime.
If you ever, I've been doing a lot of research over the last years in regards to the Great Depression. And if you had the capability of knowing someone, the grandparents or great grandparents that went through that, that was their SHTF. If you ask those
Yeah,
folks or talk to those people or read those
yeah,
stories, that was a true SHTF for those folks. It was like they were living in a third world country. It was pretty bad.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, hey, Grey, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Grey always having long-winded answers. All right, but we're a team, okay? We're a team, and I'm gonna stick with him. All right, because he is my friend after all, just like all of you are. So thank you for hanging in there, and thanks a lot for hanging out with us. But we are going to have to call it quits for this live stream, Grey. And I want to say, lastly, have a wonderful 4th of July, and remember
Absolutely.
why it is. All right. Remember the reason for the season is what they say, right? All right. Remember why it is that the 4th of July is our Independence Day. And remember all of those that have sacrificed their lives in order for me and Gray to be even able to do this, to talk about what we want to talk about in an open forum like this. All right. So happy 4th of July, America, and happy 4th of July to every one of you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to hang out with us and just listen to us talk about different topics that we went over this evening. I just want to throw in there the video that I will be dropping tomorrow. If you're looking to win a free American kind of flag knife, check it out and leave a comment. I'll make a note in that video, but just wanted to throw it out there. Outside of that, folks, like Rudy said, remember why we're celebrating the 4th of July, our independence, and appreciate that and appreciate the people around you.
Don't
Outside of
drink
that,
and drive. Don't drink and drive.
don't ever drink and drive. Outside of that, folks, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. I want to say God bless every single one of you amazing people out there. And remember, folks, you are not alone. This is GreyMan and Rudy, Alaska Prepper. We're
God
out.
bless.